In this video, I'm going to show you how I made this beautiful kitchen room. We will start with modeling the kitchen and then adding our materials using free add-on called Polygon, which offers a high-quality assets and materials. Finally, we will light our scene with some lamp and HDRI. Without any further ado, let's get started. Before we start the modeling, I'm going to change the units, go to the scene properties, click the units, change unit system from metric to imperial so that we can see our length as a feet. You can go with metric if you're familiar with a meter. Press number pad 3 to go into orthographic view. Click on the snapping tool. Enable absolute grid snap. Press tab to go into edit mode. Then go to the mesh edit mode. Enable edge length. By doing that, we can see our length, which parts we selected. Toggle X-ray mode so that we can see through our mesh. Selected our top faces, then press G to move and press Z to lock on the Z axis. By the way, you can see me when I'm pressing on the left corner. When you move the mesh, it's going to snap onto the grid. This is because we enable our snapping tools. I'm going to make our floor plane thickness right about 6 inches, for the length right about 11 feet and 6 inches. By pressing number pad 7 to go into orthographic top view, you can zoom in and zoom out by scrolling middle mouse scroll wheel. You can press G and press X to lock on an X-axis or press Y to lock on a Y-axis. I'm going to select our top faces and press E to extrude faces right about 6 inches, and then do the same thing for the left. Change our select mode to face select mode, then disable our X-ray mode so that we can select our faces easily. I'm going to select the faces that we extruded. Press number pad 1 to go into the orthographic front view. Extrude the faces right about 9 feet. Now I'm going to create our cabinets. Press Shift A, Mesh, and Cube. Go to the viewport. Overlays enable the wireframe to see a better line. Grab our cube and move right above our floor plane. Go to edit mode. I'm going to make our cabinet height right about 3 feet. Press A to select all of our faces and move to the top left corner. For the width and the length, right about 2 feet and 6 inches. And the rest are 3 feet for the length with the same width. So, these are going to be our bottom cabinets. Select one face, press Shift D. To duplicate one of our faces, press G and Z. Then press number pad 3, so that we have a space of about 3 feet between the gap. Press E to extrude our face right about 2 feet and 6 inches. Hover your mouse on our cabinets, Control R to give some loops, and scroll the middle mouse wheel to give more loops. I'm going to give it 4 loops. Press number pad 1, select our faces, G to move along the X-axis right about 1 feet and 6 inches. You can hover your mouse on the cube and press L to select our mesh, press P and then choose a selection to separate our mesh. So there are going to be our upper cabinets and bottom cabinets. Select the face and press D to duplicate, E to extrude, right about 2 inches, hover our mouse on the mesh, press L and press P, selection to separate our mesh. I'm going to make our top a little bit bigger, select the face, and move a bit right about 1 inch. Do the same thing on the other side. Now I'm going to make our table, select the face, duplicate, move to the right just a little bit. And then extrude the face right about 4 inches. This is going to be our table leg. Hover your mouse on the table leg, press L and press P, selection to separate our mesh. Select the top part of our cabinets and select the face. Duplicate, then move to the table. And adjust the size a little bit bigger than the leg. So this is going to be our tabletop. Once again, hover your mouse on the tabletop, press L to select our mesh, and press P then, selection to separate parts. Select our tabletop and the table leg, press Ctrl J to join our meshes. So this is going to be our basic block out of our kitchen room, and then we're going to add some details later on. But before we're adding our details, we're going to add a bevel modifier. Remember, nothing in the real world has a perfectly sharp edge. Go to the modifier properties, generate, bevel modifier. Increase the segments to 3, and for the offset amount, change to 0.03. You can press right-click shade, auto smooth to smooth our edges. Disable our wireframe mode so that we can see our smooth edge clearly. Under the bevel modifier, go to the shading and enable the harden normals to get a better shading. Instead of adding our bevel modifier individual mesh, I'm going to select all our meshes and make sure the last one is the one we added our bevel modifier mesh. Our wall, press Ctrl L, click Copy Modifiers. Now you can see all of our meshes have a bevel modifier. Press A to select all of our mesh and right-click, Shade Auto Smooth. Now I'm going to make our windows. To do that, press Shift A to add a cube, grab our cube, and move a little bit right above our bottom cabinets. Scale it up a bit, make it a little longer. Press A to select all, and move to our wall. Make sure our cube is larger than our wall. I'm going to adjust the space a little bit. Okay, before we make our window, we need to enable our Bool tool add-in that come with Blender. Go to Edit, Preference, search Bool tool. Enable it, we're good to go. Now, select our cube window first, then the wall, press Shift Ctrl B. Under the brush, Boolean and click difference. Now we have our window. Select our wall and go to Edit mode. I'm going to give some loops to support our geometry and shading. Press Shift A to add a cube. This is going to be a cabinet cover. Adjust the size right about 1 inch. Since our top cabinet has a bevel modifier, I'm going to select our cube, then the cabinet Ctrl L click, Copy Modifier. 0.03 is too high for our cover. Let's change it to 0.005. And now add an array modifier. As you can see, we don't want the x-axis, we just want the y-axis. Let's change the y value to about 1.3 and x to 0. Adjust the count to 21. Then duplicate our mesh and move our mesh a little bit. Then press Shift R to repeat that. So this is going to be our cabinet covers. Select one cover and move to the leg table. Just for the design, adjust the size and the array count just a little bit. For our bottom cabinet doors, I'm going to select one face, duplicate, and extrude to 1 inch. Hover your mouse, press L and P click selection. Reduce bevel amount right about 0.005. Now do the same thing as we do our top cabinet cover. Select, duplicate, and move a little bit, then adjust the space. Do the same thing to the other side. You can select all of our bottom cabinet doors and press Ctrl-J to join them all. Once again, Shift-A to add a cube. Adjust the size and make it a tiny one. So this is going to be our handle door. Select and snap onto our door. Copy modifier from our door. Duplicate our handle and move to each door. Press R to rotate our handle. Press Shift AA to add a cube. This is going to be our sun blocker. Adjust the shape and the size just a little bit. Copy the bevel modifier. Reduce the amount offset to 0.005. Shift A to add a cube. This is going to be our window frame. Once again, adjust the size. While staying in edit mode, select our two faces and press Ctrl-E. Bridge edge loops to join our faces. Select all of our faces. Duplicate and move to the individual window. Go to top view by pressing number pad 7. Grab our frame move to the wall and adjust the space. Select one face. Duplicate, extrude it down to our frame. Select one of our faces, press X, click vertices. Now only one face left. Let's move to the center of our wall. This is going to be our window glass. Once again, duplicate and move to the individual window. Now we are almost ready to add our materials. But before we do that, we need to install our add-ons. To download our add-ons, go to the Chrome browser and search Polygon Blender add-on. Click Download Blender add-ons. Make sure to extract your files. And again, do the same thing as we do our bool tools. Go to Edit, Preferences, click Install. Navigate to your file where you downloaded it and click Install. Enable the add-on. Press N for our panel and click Polygon. As you know, not everything is free, but we're going to utilize our free assets and materials to make our room look stunning. Let's just type free in the search bar there are going to be free assets pop up. Before we add our materials, let's select all of our mesh and go to edit mode. If you feel lagging, you can turn off our edge length to smooth out our viewport. Press U and Smart UV Project, then click OK. Now we've done our UV mapping. Once again, while selecting all of our mesh, press Ctrl A and click all transforms to reset all of our mesh's location, rotation, and scale. You can grab our panel and move to the left to see more assets. Let's start adding our materials, shall we? Select the mesh that you want to add and then click Apply. If you haven't downloaded it yet, download it first. Go to Material Properties to see whether our material is applied or not. As you can see, after we applied our material, nothing changed. This is because we're still staying in solid mode. Let's change it by clicking the Material Preview mode on the right corner. You can press U and Smart UV Project again to change the rotation of our material. Or you can go to the UV editing and change it literally. Let's add our microwave. Wait, before we add our microwave, select our table, go to Edit mode, select the top face, press Shift S, and choose Cursor to select it. Now wherever we add our assets, they're gonna right above our table. Let's hide our table. As you can see, whenever we import our assets, it comes with an empty. This is because the asset that we imported parent to this empty. So you can select this little tiny empty one and move to right above our cabinets. Before we add some more assets, select all of our mesh except the one we imported, and then press M, named your collection name, so that you can hide and unhide our mesh little eye icon. Here, import the glassware whiskey, which should be on top of our table. Let's move to the other side for a while. Let's select our wall and change the color to gray or something. Okay, go to Edit mode. Select the faces of this side. And click the plus bottom to add a new material. While selecting this new material, I'm going to apply this concrete poured material. Make sure you select your faces and then press Assign. Now we have our concrete material. Let's import our fruits and tray, something that you used to see in your kitchen, or import whatever you want, or follow along with me. Press Alt-H to unhide our table and select our table. Select our table and give it a new material. Go to Edit mode. Hover your mouse on the top table. Press L to select and assign to a new material, and apply this material. Feel free to add a material that you like. You don't have to use the same thing that I do. Since our wall and floor plane are the same mesh, select the wall and go to Edit mode. Select the floor plane faces, assign to a new material, and apply this terrazzo slab material. As you can see, the texture of this material is too big. Just go to the Material Properties while selecting our terrazzo slab material. Under the base color, scale it up right about 10. I think ceramic plain white would be better for our table material. Let's import a chair, select and move it down right above our floor. Press S and Z to scale it up a bit. Press R and Z 90 degrees to rotate our chair. Let's apply some wood material to our cabinet covers. I'm going to apply this veneer white oak material. Go to Edit mode and press U, Smart UV Project. Then OK to rotate the texture of our material. Select the rest and make sure the last one is the one we apply our material, and press Ctrl L, copy material. As you can see, they are different, even though we copy the material. This is because they have the same material, but different UV maps. In order to do that, while selecting, press Ctrl L and copy UV maps. For our bottom cabinets, I'm going to apply this concrete material that we use on our wall. For the top cabinet, you can copy the bottom material. In the material properties, you can click number 3 here to make a single user. Go to the Shading tab under the Shader Editor and move our principled BSDF to the right a bit. Then press Shift-A in the search bar, type color ramp, grab it and place it between our base color line. You can grab the black icon here to move to the right, as you can see it getting darker, and you can also change the color. I'm going to go with a dark gray color or something. For our cabinet door, just apply the same material. Select our wall, go to Edit Mode, select the faces of this side. Add a new material, assign, and then apply our concrete precast plates material. For our window, go to Edit Mode and select our glasses, give it a new material, assign, and then apply our dirt window stains material. As you can see, there's some dirt on our window. If you don't like the dirt, go to the Shading tab under the Shader Editor, and you can change the scale to 0. Now we have a spotless window. I'm going to adjust the rotation of our chair, duplicate, and move to the right, giving a random rotation. Also, adjust the location a bit. Grab our fruit, move it into the tray, duplicate it 2 more times, and place it on the tray. Adjust our glass location and move it onto our table. Also, our fruit moved onto the table. Import a sink and move to right above our cabinets. If you find it difficult to select the empty of our sink, you can press H to hide the thing that blocks in our way. As you can see, we can't see through our sink. To fix that, we're going to add a cube and adjust the size to cover our sink. Select the cube, then this top part, and Shift-Control-B, and click the difference. We're not done yet. We need to cut our bottom cabinets. Select our cube, then the cabinet, Shift-Control-B, difference. Now we can see through our sink. I'm going to add some loop to support the geometry and shading, just like we do to our wall. Import the food platter, grab and place it near our sink. Import the plant and place it right in the corner of our wall. And then import utensils jar and place it around our microwave. For our window frame, I'm going to leave it as a white color. Give it new material to our sun blocker, and these tiny sticks going to be a wood material click assign. Select the material for this top one and apply Plastic Ab's worn material. Apply the wood material to these little sticks. You can smart UV project again to change the rotation of the texture. Let's select all of our handle doors and press Ctrl J to join them all, and apply metal cladding frame material. For our table leg, I'm going to give the same material as we give to our cabinets. But for this part, I'm going to give a wood material. Import Rug Designer Shoreline, rotate it about 90 degrees, and scale it down a bit. Let's imagine this is our kitchen towel. Let's do the same thing that we do our wall material. Go to the Shading tab under Shader Editor, press Shift A to add a color ramp, and place it between our base color, and change it to a dark gray color. Select our camera and press number pad 0 to go into camera view. Go to camera properties and change lens type to orthographic. Go to the output properties and change the resolution to 1080 by 1080. While selecting our camera, press G and Z to move it up along the Z axis. Now you can say that we are done adding our material. You can press N again to hide our panel. For the lighting, go to the render properties and change the render engine from Eevee to Cycles. Click the render preview on the right corner. You can change the CPU to GPU to speed up your render time. Or you can stick with Eevee while testing our light. Press Shift A to add an area lamp and move it up above our wall. While selecting the lamp and go to the light properties, change the size to 11.5. As you can see, it matches the size of our wall. Test your light strength by changing the power. 100 watts is too much for our scene. I'm going to change it to 25 watts. Duplicate our area lamp, move it to the right, rotate 90 degrees, and move it down right near our window. Adjust the lamp size and the location, then increase the power to 50 watts. Let's make our light look appealing. Before we do that, we have to change our render engine to Cycles engine. Go to the render properties and change Eevee to Cycles. Select our top light, go to light properties, and under here, click Use Nodes and click the dot yellow. Scroll it up until we see the black body node, then click it. As you can see, our light just turning red. This is because we're using the light temperature. Here's the color temperature guide. The lower temperature, the warmer, the higher temperature, the colder. I'm going to give it 7,000 and increase the power to 35 watts. Select our window light and do the same thing as we do our top light. For our color temperature, I'm going to give it 5250 to look a little bit warmer. Now, let's press Shift A to add the sunlight and move it up a bit. It doesn't matter where you place it, the matter is the rotation. Change the strength to 10. As you can see, wherever I move, the sunlight doesn't affect our scene. But when I rotate my sunlight, it does affect our scene. just tweaking your sun rotation until you are satisfied with it, or you can just follow along with me. Go to the item panel under the transform and copy the rotation that I typed. You may be wondering where these rotations come from. Well, I already did this project, just recreating this tutorial for you guys. Okay, select our sunlight, and let's use the node. Search black body, and change the temperature to 4500. Let's make our kitchen towel a little bit longer. It is time to introduce the HDRI if you don't know what it is. Well, HDRI stands for High Dynamic Range Image. As you know, our lights only have a limited dynamic range. That's why some areas of a photo appear darker than they do in real life. HDRIs give photo editors a chance to brighten the corners and create an image that looks more natural. Now let's go to our Polygon add-on and search free HDRI. And I'm going to import this HDR Outdoor Field Day Overcast to our scene. As you can see, the darker part of our scene is getting brighter. Let's go to World Properties. Under the shader, reduce the strength to 0.5. Now let's select our top cabinet cover while staying in the Shading tab under the Shader Editor. Press Shift-A to add the hue saturation node and place it between our base color. Let's increase our saturation to 1.3 and reduce the value to 0.5. Press Shift-A to add a plane and move it down right below our floor plane. Scale it up and give it a new material. Change it to a gray color or something. Change CPU to GPU under the render. Change the max sample to 1024 to reduce our render time. Under the light paths, increase the indirect light to 50. Under the film, you can enable and disable transparent to hide and unhide our background. Under the color management, change the view Transform AGX to Filmic to get a better effect. You can choose high or low contrast. It's up to you. I'm going to stick with medium-high contrast. Now we are almost done. Go to Output Properties and change the resolution to 200%. You can disable our viewport overlays to hide our gizmos and outlines. For the final touch, I will adjust the location and rotation of our furniture. You know what, let's reduce our wood material saturation to right about 1.2. Select the plane under the material properties. You can play with the color by changing the saturation, value, hue, etc. Testing the color until you are satisfied with it. When you've done, click the render and render image, or you can press F12 for the shortcut. If you get a problem like a system out of GPU memory, go to Edit, Preferences. If you have a good CPU and GPU in the system, make sure you enable these two. You can go with Optics or Cadet. Make sure don't set it to none because you can't use your graphic card. I'm gonna stick with Optics. Okay, when you are done, go to the Render Properties and change GPU to CPU, and then press F12 to render. You have to wait for a minute. It depends on your device. Okay, now we've done our rendering. To save the image, go to the image, save, navigate to your folder where you want to save, name your file, kitchen, or something else. That's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoy, and if you learned something new from this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.